All right. Let me know when you're in. You can see the video.
So I'm in. I don't
I'll
know.
pause it
Okay,
and
yeah, I
just
can
start.
see the video.
Now you can see it.
I can see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So first thing is what elo is this?
So I am. So this is for a scrim in our high plat diamond league.
Okay.
I am usually between 2650, 2750, peaked around like 2850.
Okay.
And this is so the rest of my team is like all in diamond. I'm like the only one still in plat.
Okay.
So one of the reasons why I wanted this coaching so I don't let them down.
Okay.
And so the team we're playing against is also in the same boat, although one of their ringers was a masters, but we just figured it was fine because this was kind of more of an experimental scrim to try and see what comps we wanted to run on this map for our playoff match on Saturday.
Okay. All right, let's get it. Starting off with some nice May goats.
No, it was
Goats.
we're running Zen goats, but he just likes being a troll sometimes.
Okay.
And just random picking. If only we could run snoats. It's hard enough running goats with this team.
You don't know what
Because
excuse you.
we also had our usual off tank couldn't make this scrim, so we had one of our DPS players who like never talks, play Zarya. So we run into a little bit of an issue with there sometimes with the bubbles, but that might just be what I thought, not what actually happened.
Bottom right.
Okay.
And then we'll emerge from the depths. Yes, Zen's gonna lead the charge.
Okay. So, as we start off, what's your objective as this comp? What do you want to do?
Right. So first thing we want to do is we want to be able to. So it used to be we would get the break to bash the Reinhardt so we could get Discord on him, but now that we can't get Discord on their Reinhardt, what we try to do is so first we wanted to go bottom right. That was just our rollout, and what we try to do is wait to see if the just for the Zenyatta, wait to see when the Reinhardt is about to fire strike or is swinging and get the Discord on him there, and then just focus their Reinhardt down as fast as possible.
Okay. Yeah, that's like the main thing you want to do is you never really want to take a hard engage until you get the Discord on Ryan, and pretty much you're just waiting for that. So, yeah, that's good.
That's our idea in theory. I don't know how well we practice it, but
Diva does what Diva does.
Well, because as like so as the Ryan or whatever, you can see whenever that Discord gets put up. So pretty much you're the one that calls engage, right? So you're just pretty much you'll just be waiting forever, and you just be like, hey, call, like get the Discord, and you're just like waiting. Because if you engage without getting the Discord, they're gonna get Discord on you, and then you're gonna lose the fight. Because if you throw the Discord on like a Zarya, but the Zarya is a little bit farther back, and you're trying to take the Ryan fight, you're gonna lose if they get the Discord on you first. So there's no real reason for you to take the engagement until you see the Discord on there. So
gotcha.
even just waiting and just keep on telling your Zen, hey, try and get the Discord, and then as long as he knows that he needs to get that for you to take the engagement, then you guys are just going to be way better off, because there's no reason for you to take an engagement otherwise, unless somebody's like really far out of position.
Gotcha.
They're also running goats. I think they have a Kree.
Yeah.
They do have a Kree. Okay. Play.
Here we make the call that the Winston's low, but I can't really engage.
We have positional high ground. Okay, perfect. Get aggro, get aggro. They don't have their main tank.
Yeah,
Don't get too aggro though, because McCree.
Yeah, doing the engage fine after you got the first initial kill. That's good. So I want to see
Here I'm telling our Diva to come back. I don't know why she used boosters to engage into their spawn.
Yeah, your Lucio kind of like died in their spawn. Your team.
Yeah.
Okay, so the main thing that I saw with the first, like this whole engagement, I just want you to see where you are compared to your team. So this is, it's on your team and on you to be calling this, because in goats, your team should be kind of like following up on your aggression, right? So when you're pushing in, they're kind of like behind you. They shouldn't be in front, like leading the charges. So if you see people in front of you, then that should be on you. I should be hearing you in the comms like, hey, get behind me, regroup on, right side pillar, something like that. Because if you take a look here, you know, kiting back,
Yeah,
your team is all in front, and then it happens again when you're about to push. So like your team is gonna be it's gonna get like way in front of you again, I think, because you're kiting back too far. So there isn't, when you're pushing up here, you do like a jump. There's no reason to, since you're full HP, you have a pocket, you just gotta pick. You shouldn't need to do your little like jump back. You should just be able to hold this, just push up, hold corner, and then just, you know, start swinging stuff. You don't need to keep jumping backwards, you know, with like your shield and stuff, because you have like the aggression. Like they don't have a Ryan, they have a Winston, so nothing can really punish you that hard. So there's no really reason for you to be falling back and let your team get in front of you. If you had like a Discord or your low shield or something, then I could see it. But whenever you know you're full HP, full shield, you shouldn't really be that scared. And let your team get in front of you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think I just instinctually thought they would have a Ryan and like already got into that mindset, but I didn't need to be like that. You're right. Like I think when I was playing this, I thought I was really low, but like looking at the VOD now, like my health
full HP,
below 400.
Kigo, can you handle left side flank and let us know if anyone's coming there?
Okay. Yeah, one of the reasons why I wanted this map reviewed was because we crushed them this map, and then we dropped the next two. So like, yeah, like this map, I don't know how much we can like. For me, it was tough to figure out what to glean from this.
Okay, so in the first thing is you can, since you have like the Lucio goats forever, you know they're gonna be coming down whatever here, so you can actually like hold like a corner, throw a fire strike, and then you can like whatever kite back, and then so you'll be like full HP or whatever, because you know they're going to be coming down here, right? So you can actually just get a free fire strike, hit whatever, all 5 of them, something, maybe waste a cooldown, and then you can always just, you know, kite back, and then now you have shatter, so now you don't have to wait. So then now for the next fight you can look for shattered fire strike, and then you have all your movement abilities
gotcha.
For like the next thing, because like right now somebody's okay, so your Zarya's on left side, so that's another thing for you as the main tank. You should let your Zarya know to, you know, be over here behind shield, because you're gonna need, like, you know, their bubbles, and you're gonna need Zarya to be able to do engages. Even if the only reason, the only time she should be over here is, I don't know if she's going for a grab play or something, but that's the only time that your off tank should be away from you, if like they even want to try and go for a grab. Even then, it's still fine. It's still fine for her to, like, you know, be right behind shield. So you should be paying attention to see where off tank is, and then yelling at them to get back behind you to give you resources. Because then you're gonna get punished really hard.
That was actually my fault, because you know, it's one of those things where like you watch a Jane video and you think you understand things, but you don't understand the practice. Like understanding like whatever the horseshoe thing that he talks about, and I was like, oh, Zarya, can you like try and control left flank? Because I was worried they might come rush us there, but that does nothing. So that was a terrible call out from me to do.
Oh, okay, yes. Okay, so this thing of what Jane means by doing, like, you know, where you pinch around like multiple sides, this is like when you have more like double, like 2 DPS and like flankers and stuff. With goats versus goats, it's pretty much you go like this, right? So if you have, you know, a Zarya or something over on this side that can't protect you, you're just gonna get bulldozed right over. Like goats versus goats is kind of like that, you know, head-on whatever collision. You're using abilities based off of what their cooldowns have, and you're trying to focus a certain amount of one. If you guys are splitting goats, then you guys are gonna lose. In a different team comp, if you had like a dive or, you know, double hit scan, something like that, then that's when the horseshoe comes into play, because while you're creating space here, your DPS can flank this way because the shield is forced to look at you this way. So then your DPS have a free line of sight. So in goats, make sure you're together, but if in other different comp, then you can do like, you know, the horseshoe flank and stuff. And if anything, you'd want maybe like your Zen or something. He can be watching this because he can still get the orbs, but you need for ghosts especially, you need your Zarya and stuff with you to be able to get those bubbles off.
The McCree? Okay, just wait this out. Unlucky.
Oh, that's just unfortunate.
Yeah.
Okay, let me see this actually.
Okay, just wait this out.
Yeah, I didn't see him coming in until too late.
Okay, So
They swapped off the McCree?
Yeah.
Okay, just
the
wait this out.
why? Okay, so why do you think you didn't see him coming in?
When I saw the Moira coalescence coming down the middle, I made the call for people to play corners so that we wouldn't get hit by the Moira coalescence.
Okay.
And so but I didn't need to be that far away. I could have been closer to the corner, but because I was so far away from that, I wasn't able to counterpin when the Ryan charged in.
Mm-hmm. So what ability does Ryan have that makes you see third person?
The shield. I could have had shield up.
So you can like put
And then
shield
help-
up
yeah.
how you had it before, like how you have it like this. Or okay, maybe if I can
They
if you don't
swapped off the
stop hitting tab. Okay, so pretty much you can just sit here, but you can still have like your shield up because since you're on goats, it's not really gonna hard break your shield that much. Or you can even just like tilt it so it's inside the wall kind of, but you can still see this, so when they're gonna be trying to look to get engaged and stuff. You shouldn't just like sit here in the corner blind because then you have no idea what's actually going on. Since you're the main tank, if anything, you can just kite back to this whatever pillar on like that back side so you can still see what's going on, because you never want to take a fight where you're just completely blind, since you're the eyes of your team, unless your team is really communicating everything that's going on.
Right.
Because if you saw that Ryan coming in, it would be like an easy counterpin, then he's inside of your team and then you can do it. But you didn't get a good shatter since the Ryan passed everything, so that was good, capitalizing on the Ryan being so far in.
Stagger baby diva, don't kill her, don't kill her, don't kill her.
I'm like yelling at our Zarya to just come back and let the baby diva live.
He has to 5-check your own. Sorry, dude. Get him.
It's about sending a message.
She hasn't.
Yeah, I do the same thing here. I literally like play blind.
They went break.
Okay.
They're running the same thing as us now.
Yep. Except they're less practice on Zen goats than we are. Nice job. He doesn't have it anymore. Watch out for break
Yeah,
left side.
I noticed
okay,
the
don't chase, don't
break
chase.
here. We just let her
That
live.
was good. So Ryan's pushing in.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Do we have a?
Okay. So, do you ult track the enemy Ryan's ult or no?
I try to get better at it, but sometimes I just get lazy and don't. So I guess the answer is no, not consistently.
Okay. Because so going into this fight, you just used shatter that last fight, right? And then now you're up to like 40%. So the enemy Ryan probably has shatter. So you should be like communicating to team, being like, hey, Ryan has shatter, so you'd want to always try and be in front of your team. So like the Brig's on whatever left side, so you can get whatever. But then you should be letting your team know to like play behind shield, because if their Ryan like does have shatter, or if he's something like if your team's like all the way open like over here like they were, they could get easily shattered, and then you end up losing the fight. Because I'm thinking you probably should, since you're adding another 50% to shatter, unless the Ryan really hasn't done much.
It's okay.
But yeah, you always want to make sure.
Next time, let's call that.
Yeah.
This Ryan just keeps going for YOLO charges, dude. I don't know what he's doing.
Everyone usually calls him like the best main tank in the league as well, and he's usually good. I don't know why he was just YOLO charging this game.
Always going for
we were able to focus him down usually because he was out of position because of that.
What he's doing, you don't like. What you're doing is how you'd want to play. Like him just going for those charges and stuff, it leaves him really vulnerable, especially in so the thing with in goats, if you go for a pin and you miss, you're pretty much dead, because you're gonna be so far back in the enemy team. So that's why what you see in goats, it's either a lot of the main tanks either go for like a short pin onto like the edge of like the wall or something, and you don't go for like long distance pins, because you're gonna need to be there to either shield for shatter. You need to be able to like start swinging for like shatter damage, or shatter yourself to get their team, because that's like a big win condition. So you never really want to be going for a bunch of YOLO charges, because then you're just gonna be fall so far behind in ult percentage. So I would say that guy's playing completely wrong, and like how you're playing it is how you'd want to play, where you're just trying to hold space and then just capitalizing on their mistakes, since you do have the point control.
Gotcha. Yeah, I used to do that a lot too, but I had to get it like coached out of me, because I realized I was just like getting our kill team entirely wiped every time I did that.
Yeah, it's not the best idea sometimes. So yeah, overall like that round, other than the not holding
really
shield to like see where your team is going and stuff, then like other than that, I think it was a pretty solid round on like positioning and
Alright, so Sanctum, what we're gonna do is go, can you run
ability usage.
Hog, actually?
And here we tried auto comp we hadn't really tried before, which was Orisa Hog with a McCree, and then triple support.
Can you play break? Not break.
Okay.
So we wanted to make sure we had
and then Gil, can you go Moira?
Orisa Hog for the CC, and then our Diva player is actually a McCree main, and we figured with the Brig McCree, if they tried running dive on us again,
okay,
we would just be able to destroy them, and if they tried to take the fight on point, we would just have the close range damage to win there.
Okay. So based on what your team comp is, where do you want to position yourself? Are you going to point right side? Are you playing left side, then rotating? Like how do you want to do this?
Originally, I think the call was for us to go left side and then hold there for a little bit and then go to point and then hold from point. But we would have our Brig... we would have our Brig with their tanks and then our McCree with our Zenyatta in the back line.
Okay. So is there a reason why you need to be left side? So what's the bonus of you being left side opposed to being right side? Like what's your thought process on that? What do you get out of being left side that is better than right?
Left side, if they come closer to engage with us, it's closer to the pit, and so I could pull them there with halt hook.
Okay, but if they go to point with an Orisa, they're not going to be pushing on you, right? So there's going to be any point control while you're holding left side. And then how are you going to get to point? You have to go through right side, right? Over the across the bridge, so then your team is now going to get pulled into the pit.
Right.
If you're playing if you had Orisa Diva with the McCree, then playing left side is like whatever, fine, because you can hard break shield whatever. With the Hog, you're not gonna be able to get any hook combos, because if you play on that left side just holding with the shield, you know, on the wall, you can't go for a pull combo, because if Hog like pushes up to whatever, try and get a hook combo, it's easy for them just to counter and pull your Hog or anybody else that's like pretty close. So your McCree and Zen should honestly be pretty safe playing left side by themselves while you and Hog go to point. And if once you take the fight onto point, then your McCree is free to either win the duel on the left side, or he has free shots on the Orisa since your shield's going to be turned. So you don't need to be on that left side. Like I like taking point control first, because then you can look for the hook combos. If they play on that left side, then it's easy. You just can kite back and you have point control now, and now your McCree has room to do like whatever the hell he wants.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think this plays out exactly as you think.
First time we're running.
Us initially holding left side before going on to point.
Basically, I want to be able to utilize, let's go left side, the CC of Orisa
Nope,
Hog.
we just go to point, never mind.
Okay, they went bottom
here.
here.
I don't know why I did that.
3,
that
2,
was the
1.
initial call. Yep. So they run this.
Ryan was super pulled. Shield here.
Okay. So
Hog.
So you put your shield, whatever.
Went bottom here.
Okay, so you see they're on goats. How does Orisa comp play into goats? Like what does goats do? What's goats' objective and what's Orisa's objective? What do you want to do as an Orisa comp into goats? And what does goats want to do into Orisa comp?
Orisa comp wants to put some distance between her and goats, and goats wants to close that distance.
Yep. So you see they have goats,
I'm gonna pull in 3,
right?
2.
Where do you think you should be rotating right now?
To right side.
You want to rotate to this side?
Oh, sorry.
This
yes,
or this side?
Or left side. Or left side. Left side.
Yeah, I'm asking you. I want to know where your thought process is on this. So,
left side. Left side. So we have sight lines onto their back line with our Zen and a McCree.
Okay. What else does left side let you do?
Halt them off the map.
Yes. Okay.
Okay.
So as they're pushing on this side, Goats wants to hard pressure you, right? So you're on the McCree comp with Orisa and a Hog. So you're just trying, you need to try and break Ryan Shield before you're going to get anything done.
Right.
So when you see they have Goats, you should go start walking all the way back to where your Kree is over here. Because if they try, they're going to try and push you. And if they do push you, then you can pull them into the pit. You playing right here and then going for a pull right here is not really doing much, because Ryan can just put his shield up. Now he blocks it, and then they just rush on you because you're still in the middle. If you were rotating this side, then it's an easy pull into the pit for you, or your Hawk can get like a hook combo while Ryan's trying to swing on you or something, right?
Right.
So there's no reason for you to be playing right here in front of them. You should be cutting back, so then you're forcing them to go in a position where you don't want them to be.
I have to play point.
Yeah,
because even if you give them, so in Ghost, like, it's okay if you give them point, whatever, for a couple seconds, as long as you win the fight, right? So if you don't have to just jump on a point and then you're die, then you're giving them all charge. You can just give them some percentage, but then you're gonna end up winning anyways, because you have once you break shield, you go for pull combos, and then you win the fight, and then you can get set up for the next fight. So you don't have to force yourself. You don't have to think like, oh, they're about to get point, let me just jump on. The only time that you jump on is if you're on like a mirror comp, and then you're just trying to win those 1v1s. So you have to think about like how your comp plays into their comp, and then have like a different play style accordingly, right? Like, don't always just like think you have to get on point 24/7.
Right. Yeah.
I have to play point. Oh, we let him. Oh, it's fine.
Okay, you only have. Okay, back up.
Ooh, double boop. All right. It's our first time running this comp.
So let's see.
What's up, Katie?
Where do you stay on the same comp, or do you?
Yeah, we stay on this comp because we want to try seeing if we can work on Sanctum.
Okay.
So we're, especially since we're breaking out for the first time, and also when we play our Zen, we have 3 supports, and then we sub out one of our supports for one of our DPS. So we were thinking, since we'd only have 1 DPS, if we want to play Orisa Hog, we'd only be able to play 1 DPS instead of, like, say, a Farah McCree.
Okay.
And so we were thinking if we could do the Zen Goats backline with a Hog Orisa McCree.
Okay, so what's your thought process of wanting to go right side?
I think here it was, I just saw in the kill feed that 2 of our players had gone booped. And so I wanted us to get away from any boop potential. And also, I think, and we also had the McCree left side, so we wanted to get a bit of a crossfire between the 2.
Okay, so with you going right side, how are you going to do, like, what are you going to be doing as Orisa? Like, what's your value to your team by going from right side opposed from left?
So I have the shield, and that would like cover the wall that's next to the staircase. So using that as a bit of a cover, and then we also have the shield to give us a little bit more cover and shielding. But I guess I don't really take advantage of the halt that Orisa provides by being here.
Okay, yeah. So with Goats, what do you think they're gonna do? They speed onto the first target that they see, right? So you playing left here is they're just gonna hard speed onto you, and then you're playing like super close into them. So it's better off if you go like left side, and then you're shooting at Ryan, pressuring shields, and then you can start rotating a point once Ryan's shield's broken, because then you can get the hook combos. McCree has a ton of value and all that stuff. If you go right side, they're just gonna just speed onto you, and then you're absolutely useless as Orisa.
Gotcha.
Because you can't really do anything. So whenever if you play this comp into Goats comp, there's no reason for you to go right side, because you're not getting any value out of your halts. You're not getting any value out of your gun because you're playing so close. Like you're getting like pretty much countered, and the only, if you wanted to, like, there's no reason to play Orisa. You'd rather play like Ball or even like Ryan or something, just since you're playing so close anyways.
Okay.
So what you'd want to do is set up everybody right here, and then you're
Uh-huh.
just laying into Ryan's shield. Once Ryan's shield's broken, and then you start rotating to point, because then you can look for a hook combo. McCree can go over here, like start lining up shots if they try and back out into like the little corner or something. Because right here they'll just hard speed onto you, and then okay, you get that guy got.
I did. Yeah, I did it. We tried
God.
both times, and we didn't get him.
times
We
are we
even
gonna
tried
CC
duping
this
him.
guy?
This is a pretty good
Ryan's
CC,
low, Ryan's low.
but
I got pinned, but I'm gonna live.
okay. So other than the good thing that you did, so right when you see like how they just instantly went and like sped on you, that's exactly what they're going to do as like a Ryan comp, and that's how Arista's comp gets countered, because everybody just jumps right on top of you in the beginning.
Right.
So they're like, it's better off if you were to play here, because if they were to speed on you, then of course you get the pull combos. Your hog can play here to like hook the Ryan if he tries to push. So how you'd want to set this up is you have your Lucio, your Zen, and you forever here, and then your hog is gonna be like in this opening, because they have nothing to contest your hog, right? So if Ryan pushes you here, you can try and look for the halt, and then if you miss, and Ryan still is shielding up this way, and then hog has free hooks on their backline as they're trying to rotate as well. So it's either Ryan is turned this like I don't know, Ryan's either turned this way, and then you have free shots, and your Zen has free shots, or he's facing you, and then Ryan or your hog has a free hook. And that's kind of like how you set up, kind of like that crossfit thing that like Jane always talks about. But it's you have to play the right position for you to actually get value that way.
Gotcha. Okay.
Where are you hammering down, Ryan? Oh my God! How many times are we gonna CC this guy? Ryan's low, Ryan's low. I got pinned, but I'm gonna live.
So that's good, using the halt to pull Ryan back.
So unfortunate.
Right.
It was close too.
Okay, I'm gonna rally us into this fight.
Okay.
Alright, I'll use coalescence if I need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Take them.
Okay, I want to see. You press tab real quick.
Take them.
Oh damn it! I think this was 5 seconds back.
Okay, I'm gonna.
Okay. So, looking at your team comp, what's the reasoning? I thought you had a Zen before.
We did have a Zen.
Okay.
I don't actually know why we went. This is actually wow. I did not. I think it was because it felt like we were taking too much damage, and so our Zen wanted to go Moira to keep us alive. Okay,
but then how are you supposed to kill any tanks without without a Discorder? Like the way how you have to beat goats is with Zen Discord, and since you have the Kree, like that's your Zen should be pretty much like safe, because then you can just speed around with like Lucio and whatever stuff. Because you're not with Lucio Mora. You want to have a hard engage comp, because you can have the sustain, right? So you're not getting this. Your support lineup isn't benefiting your like DPS and tank lineup, because your comp here wants to play arranged, and with Mora you want to play up close. So it's just like a mistake on your like support. But then even as like the main tank, if you press tab, this is something you should be looking at like as well, just to be like, okay, wait, we swapped off to something that's not good. Like then you just let your teammate know, hey, go back to Zen, like this is the right comp that we need to run and stuff, because this is not gonna help you at all.
I had seen this VOD once before, but I never paid attention to that, and I don't think I pressed tab enough to keep tabs on. I don't think it was calmed either.
Yeah.
Or if it was, I didn't pay attention to it. So that's on me.
Okay.
Alright, I'll use coalescence if I need to. Yeah.
Okay.
Because that can also be a factor why it's really hard for you guys to beat goats with this comp, because you actually don't have enough damage to kill anything. Okay. The other thing is, so for this hook, are you going for your hog to pull them, or are you looking to pull them off the map?
Pull them off the map.
Okay. What might help you is going, because this is not even close to pulling them off the map is you can go into like a custom game and stuff, and it's or you. It's hard to see like because of the quality and stuff.
Right.
But the way I always shoot like the orb and stuff, you shoot it towards like the bottom of like these like ledges. Like hopefully maybe there'll be like a sanctum map or something that I could I'll be able to show like if I play. But whenever you go for pools trying to pull off the map, you never want to do it high because then they have chances to fall down and then they can move themselves in the air. So you always want to try and pull them like somewhat close to the map or even like downwards, because if they're like standing here and you do an orb here, like it's gonna pull them downwards like into it. So you never want to go for high hooks unless you're going for a hog hook. The rest is either like level or a little bit below, and then you want to try and actually get it off the map, because for this it's still close enough to where it's just like that's like on like right in the middle of the steps. So that's just something that I would go and say maybe like custom. You can just like shoot your orbs just so you can see where they need to detonate to pull somebody off the map, and that might just help you. Just like, hey, have one of your teammates just stand still, and then you're like, okay, then you memorize, okay, that's where it needs to be. So even when you shoot that orb, even if they run past, then you're still waiting for it to hit that spot before you hit the right click, because that's where it's gonna be, where it needs to be anyways, or it's gonna be useless. So that's just something to think about and maybe try and think about doing.
Yeah, no, that's good. Especially because I feel like, even though I feel confident with my Ryan and Winston, usually, I don't really feel comfortable with my Orisa.
Okay, yeah. This is one of those heroes that has like some, abilities, but like once you get used to it, then you're pretty much easy. But if you never really practice it or try to like learn it, then it's one of those hard heroes since it has like a way different kit.
Right.
Okay, I guess this kind of like works. Okay, so when you're pulling people off, it's like you're aiming kind of like down here. So like how you aimed it, kind of like right up here for that like orb or something. You should have aimed like, since you're coming here, you should have aimed it like right where this like orb is. So it's when they're coming down, then it's like, okay, bam, like you just sucked all these people like whatever off into that pit, because doing it up with above, like it wouldn't have accomplished anything.
Right.
Very nice. All right. I'm not gonna hold that shield up that high. I'm gonna put it back a little bit.
They didn't make any changes.
Nope, they're still running Zen goats.
Yeah, we had our break, right side scouting to see if they would come there, but then we just see them coming left side.
Okay, they got it back, so that's fine for
They might be falling down here, so I'm gonna
the pulls.
No, they're back there, but behind us.
Oh, behind us? Pulling?
Okay. Why no bongo? I don't know
why
about
no
that.
bongo?
So you're going to the fight. Did you guys make a plan? I didn't really hear the comms, but did you guys make a
is the
pre-fight
volume
plan?
too low? The comm should be available in this.
Okay, no, you did say okay. So you said I supercharged this fight. I'm gonna initiate with it. And then
I don't.
You don't.
It's like the mind knows what to do, but then I just don't follow. I think it was because I put shield there, and I see them here, and I'm just like, oh god, I have to shoot. And then I'm thinking like I should put bongos down here, but I guess And then here I think we just
So then you you do it after you got a bunch of like the picks.
Yeah,
and stuff.
we got 2 picks. We don't need it anymore at that point.
Yeah. So so with like bongo stuff, since they have like wherever the round comes, they're gonna be a card speeding on you. So that's good that you had somebody like scouting and stuff. So right when you see them, whatever, like turn this corner, it's like right, like here is where you can put your bongo down. Ryan's gonna charge, so then you can just bongo. You can shift the charge for your team so that he doesn't go anywhere. And then now you can look for all the pulls. They're with your hog, or if somebody rotates here, you can look for a pull off. Because if Ryan's alive with the shield, you're not going to get any value just halting people up in the air. So you should be holding the halt in case you can try and get somebody off the pit. Or what's more advanced that me and some of the other like Lucio's do is I'll call that I'm going to pull somebody like around here, and then they go for a boop to pull, like boop them off.
Gotcha.
So it's not, you can like combo multiple things
Right.
with it. So either they can do the first boop and then you pull them off because like, you know, if you know where to place it, or you can go for the pull and then they go for the boop, and then there you go, there's people in the pit. So that's what against the Rind comp, because they have the shield and everything, you're not really going to get much value out of the hog combo hooks, so you should be looking to combo with your Lucio into knocking people into the pit instead.
Gotcha. I think here I was just using Hulk to try and like slow them down.
Slow them down,
so
yeah.
that the Ryan would be so far away from the rest of his team because he was going for a charge.
Okay.
But it's probably more value to do the Hulk to try and get the boops off.
Yeah, because they're all going to be super close to you pretty much anyways, but got a good value. You got the pin in the hook. Your hog's playing in a good spot to get the hooks off the map, so that's good.
Nice. Right, we still got 3 ults. Let's rally to initiate then.
Okay, not everyone's here, so just play carefully.
Okay.
I'll be there in a sec. We're back.
Right
Okay.
side again.
Call out if they're going behind, or I'm checking bottom. You check if they're going behind.
Okay, so I know against goats comps or whatever, it doesn't really matter, but you know about doing like double shields and all that stuff, right? Like would you do that if against an Arista comp, or that's something you don't even think about either?
How do you mean double shields?
Okay, so
like doing double like Ryan Orisa or
no. Okay, so since you have point control, right?
Oh,
you can be having a shield here. So wherever, and then so you can have a shield facing whatever, like this way if you're facing like an Arista comp, and then once you see them, you know, like starting to walk, then you do a vertical shield. So by the time that's gonna drop, like if your shield breaks, this one drops, and you have like, you know, effectively like a double shield. So like you like know about that and all that stuff, right? Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
Usually I do that more on like payload maps because it feels like it's easier, like on payload defense, because it feels like it's easier to situate here. I don't think I ever thought about doing it on King of the Hill map because it always feels like, for me, I want to have the ability to put the shield down in case, no matter where the fight breaks out. But I didn't think about, because usually I just like shoot it in the same place, and it keep a static shield. But I didn't think about it being able to put like a shield down, like maybe blocking one corridor and then anticipating where they might come down after that.
Okay, so yeah, versus like goats comps, you don't really do double shields because they're not going to break your shield anyways. But against Arista comps, they're always going to be coming through either this way or around the other way. So you always want to still think about doing the double shields, because on this map, and as well as where you run Arista, which is, I don't know if you run Arista, but that's a really good Arista map as well. You still do the double shields because you're not going to be pushing past. You're going to be like, you know, holding that backside, you know, corner. So then you can have a double shield, and that's, you pretty much have point control. Same thing here is if you have point control, your shield will be tilted here. The wrist is going to come down, trying to shoot your shield. You do that, whatever, double shield. Now you have 2 shields instead of 1. They can never push because you just keep breaking their shield every time they try and push, you know?
Gotcha.
So we'll see how...
They're going bottom?
Pull's fine to trying to hold them back.
Thank you. I got booped. Oh my god.
Ooh, that's
Yeah. I thought I was like sufficiently right side enough that I wouldn't get booped, but I guess I was maybe moving left side.
I got booped?
yeah,
The extra DI.
Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm trying to want to see where
Thank you.
if you just halt to just try and bring them back,
Yeah.
or what?
Yeah, just give us a little bit of distance away from them.
Oh my god.
Okay, so when you're mid fight like that, it's when you're on the Arista comps, it's better like when as they're pushing down. Sure, you know, you can go for the pullback to get more damage onto Ryan Shield. If it's like a mid-fight, like, you know, kind of chaotic type thing, you should be looking to try and pull them into the pit because you know they're going to try and push you, right? So you can be looking to get this, try and force somebody to get somebody like in this pit that's like right to your left, because you know they're going to try and hard engage on you. And if they don't hard engage on you, then you just break their shield from, and then you like, you know, re-engage onto point because you have hog hooks and stuff like that.
Right.
So that don't always just be looking to pull them backwards all the time. Look, if there's environment next to you and you know that they're going to try and hard engage on you, like look to get those like, you know, boobs, and then as well before, you know, you can look at, get your Lucio to like combo with you and all that stuff.
I got booped.
Well, that was just a good play by that Lucio.
Yeah.
Man.
I thought about switching back to Reinhardt, but I really wanted to try this comp one last time. I figured that was more important than trying to get the map win.
Yep. Listen.
Okay, so if you were to go Reinhardt, then your whole team, whatever, would have to swap. So if you're in this situation where you need to like touch point, and then they're on go something, Hammond is actually really strong because so pretty much what you'd do as Hammond is they're going to be on point, so you don't want to, you won't go from this way, you'd go around like this side, probably drop down into like the bottom spot, right, and then you do save your hook, so you're gonna like hook at like the edge of like I was explaining like that the opening of like the entrance, right? So then you're flying towards this one. You can actually knock a bunch of people like off into the wall because they're gonna be the Ryan's gonna be so grouped up, whatever. So that's how you'd want to play the Hammond into the goats, is just dropping down into that little hole and then zooming out to try and knock people into the pit, because Hammond's knock is actually pretty far and they're all gonna be on point. So I wouldn't say go Ryan, but I'd say go Hammond if you're staying the same comp with your team. Because if you go Ryan, you just get bullied.
Unfortunate.
Right. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So this was good practice.
Yeah, I think the main thing is you had a Mora and Nada. If you had the Zen, then it would have allowed you to burn, you know, the Ryan or whatever people a lot faster. Because if you put the Discord on Ryan, then you know once the shield breaks, you know you can burn him and stuff. With the Mora, that's the damage was kind of lacking.
Right.
Zen goats. We're gonna go top right. And also, this is mostly for my benefit, but I am not gonna charge into them when they're all in that tiny room, as delicious as they may look.
Nah, dude, just charge in.
Because I did that in a previous scrim, and I had taken like a couple days off, and that was after the McCree buffs went in, and I just got fanned the hammer to death, and I just got absolutely melted. Because before I was like, oh, goes be goats, I could just pin into there, get a pick, and then we'll all be able to speed boost then. But after the hammer, I was like, nope, can't do that.
Where are they running? They're coming up here.
Okay.
They're coming up here.
Okay, let me see.
I'm at 40%. Oh, where's this Ryan? Okay.
Okay, so when you're pushing up,
Let
me see where you position. Okay, so against like the Ryan, whatever, like Ryan fight, you should just be holding, whatever, like you can just be holding that corner to, like, you can just be like pushing up and then just holding, whatever, this corner, like you don't, because you want to try and stay like whatever together. So you don't. There's no reason for you to either, you know, push up here and then you're gonna get knocked back here, whatever. It's just pushing up, and then you don't even need to really like touch your W or S key. It's just like going left and right pretty much, because then you can just be LOSing this on like, you know, some of the Zen damage, and then you're just swinging on the Ryan. Because then what's gonna probably looks like happens here, you're gonna get like knocked and then you lose sight on Ryan, everything. Now you're pushing whatever left, and now these people, some people are here, so that your team's kind of like, I don't know, I don't know what the word is, but like you're just like all over the place and not really that together. So this
is bad positioning by me, because I should have been, you're right, I should have been holding this corner, but because I'm out in the open, the two of us like follow me and the rest stay by the corner where they should be.
So like, see how whatever, like this Ryan is just standing still, and then you're going back and forth, like pretty much that he's doing what you'd want to do, because then it's just war of attrition, like who's breaking shield first or who has better like shield management. Like you should be looking if Zen has a Zen just right click, then you can try and go for some swings and try and make your shield like, you know, go up higher. And then if Zen's charging a right click, be ready to put your shield up so then you don't get 5 warp and stuff. So in the goats comps, instead of like, you need to pay attention to what the Ryan's doing, but you also want to be looking if the Zen's charging right click, because the 5 orb actually does like a fuck ton of damage. And a lot of people like get caught off guard by that if you're not paying attention to where the Zen is and if he's when he's trying to do you know, using that ability. So next time, because then you can just be calling for your team to do engages and then you know, kite out, and then nobody's gonna be, you know, all over the place here.
Scored on me.
Right.
Can I get a bubble? Thank you.
Ryan discorded, go get
I got him.
Go get
Nice.
Nice, nice, nice.
Who's next? Who's next? Who's next? I'm discorded. I have to fall back. I have to fall back. I'm discorded. There's
Break behind you.
break behind. Break behind.
Okay.
I'm discorded. I have to fall. I got him. Nice.
Okay, so it's a good pick on the
Who's
round. You
next?
can
Who's next? Who's
overextended.
next? I'm
Then
discorded. I have to fall back.
okay, so here shield broke, discorded. You should just, you're not going to do anything standing up here. You're just going to end up dying. So you can either, you know, move to that whatever right corner that's right to your right side, or honestly just like drop down, because you kind of just stay here because you get greedy and you want to try and help your team and get more kills. But if you were to live and just wait for your shield to be up, then even if you're 100 HP but you have your 600 HP shield and they're all back there, you can just hold shield for your team and then they can get value while you're getting healed up. So since you have, you know, no shield or anything, just make sure you're trying to stay alive and then, you know, do the engagement afterwards, because it's just one of those like, oh, you just see the brig, you get greedy. And then,
I saw the brig and I was like, oh, like we killed the Ryan and then the brig, like we've got this fight won.
Yeah.
For when I get Discord.
Yo, thanks for the host, Mavericks. Hope you had a good stream, my dude.
Let's go top right again, because we have this end. We can just spam into them.
I'll have trans like 2 seconds in.
Okay.
Okay. Goats versus goats comps. Nuclear. Hey, nice job, man. Why go up top, or why go left side? What do you think's better?
So we wanted to go top so we could get discords and like help our so my idea was after our Zen builds up, like gets a discord and like builds up or gets damage from up top, like we can charge in with trance. So, or would bottom be better so that we could take a faster engage?
Okay, so if you go top, their Zen is probably going to be so far back and in a good position, right? So you're not going to be able to get any whatever value. So in a goats versus goats, if you lose a fight, you want to take the fight to point. So you just go left side, go to point, and then once you have, because they're gonna have to drop to point as well, and then that's when you're gonna take, you know, the engage. If you try and go top like up here, it's really easy for them just to stuff you, and then your support, like you guys are stuck in a little corner, and then the Ryan can just swing on you guys for free while their whole team's safe. So you never really want to go top right in a goats versus comp. It'd be better for you if you went left side, dropped a point, forced them to go to point, and then now everybody has vision on everything, and now you're not stuck in this little room.
Right.
Oh, we can't.
Because now you guys are just, you know,
we're just
so much cleave damage, and you can't do anything. So good.
I got greedy because I saw the Ryan was low.
Yeah, so you end up killing the Ryan, but then
no follow up, and I'm dead.
Yeah, you don't have any follow up because you're 1 HP and everything. So like you're like, oh dude, I got the fattest shatter, but then
yeah,
I don't have zero follow up, so that it wasn't actually like anywhere helpful. You just kind of wasted your ult, you know.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as soon as I hit the shatter, I was like, damn, that was a terrible shatter. And here I'm like throwing my Zarya under the bus like a terrible main tank.
Yeah, and then now you're going to top right again. Yeah, so
Yeah,
next
I
time,
would
whenever you're
think so.
facing goats, you want to go from bottom left to point, so you don't you don't want to take fights in spots
They're gonna
where
have grab.
it's really like clustered up for you, because then you'll end up
We're fine, we're fine.
just getting owned. Usually it's always better to take a fight to point as goats and then force them to be like the same spots so everybody's on equal terms.
Okay. When you
Discord
get
again?
discorded as Ryan, is the main priority to like shield up and still fight and wait for your Zarya to get projected, or should I take cover and just like get out of LOS of the Zen?
It's dependent on if you have a Discord on their Rhine and like what's going on. So in the beginning of the fight, that's why Zarya's usually like you save your bubble, so then as Rhines are pushing up, right, they're gonna look for a Discord. So right when you get discorded the first time, you can ask Zarya for a bubble and then you engage, because then they can't get a Discord on you. Because if it's in the middle of the fight and you don't have Discord on their Rhine but you're discorded, then it's better you just hold shield and try and play like a corner till you get discorded, so that you're gonna lose anyways, because you're just gonna get rolled over or instantly bursted down.
Right.
So it's all like situational, but usually if you get discorded as Ryan and you don't have projected, it's good just to try and hold shield, and then because you're just trying to wait for something to survive, or Zen to throw Discord on somebody else.
Play point keeper,
Unless
play point
like they're hard engaged on top of you, then yeah, just try and get as much damage as you can for your team, or get a pin.
Alright, we used grab. Alright, fall back. We have, what do we have? We have time.
Okay.
Yeah. Spoiler alert, it doesn't work the third time.
Okay. I want you to take a look at this. 90%. Okay. What's the fastest route to get to point?
Down the middle.
Yeah. Down here, get to
main,
point.
Yeah.
So we always want to be paying attention to the timer, because this also happened on like the map, like whatever before, like you like when Arissa, but it was at like whatever 85. So you guys just like watch a point, then you died anyways because you had to try and whatever touch. So you should be really paying attention to the timer clock, and then knowing which route is the best, or if you have to swap off to a main tank to be able to touch. So sometimes you might be on shatter, but either you or somebody else has to pick a different hero to even give your guys like a chance to even do something.
Right.
Yeah, so going up here is you're just kind of probably get stuffed again, and then even if you did get a fight, the chances of you actually making it to point in time is probably pretty slim, unless somebody goes on the left side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I'll just go point.
Can someone go? Tasty, can you touch? I blocked.
It's a good block.
I got pinned.
You're gonna die anyways to the
Yeah.
bomb. You had your counter pin, so you could have got the pin off, but then you would have died to Diva bomb.
Yeah, so I wasn't sure what to do in that situation.
Yeah, I usually just go for the pin, just to don't give the Ryan the satisfaction, but that's pretty much what I would have done. But yeah, you would have lost on that. Anyways, yeah, so especially on for that map, it would have been better to take the fights on like the left side every time you're on goats. And if they just keep stuff on that left side, then you can maybe go through kitchen, because since there's like whatever exits yours and can late peek top or something, but you never really want to all just stuff out of that small corner room. Like you always want to avoid trying to taking fights in those small places.
Gotcha. Okay.
So based on this stuff, what do you think you need to work on?
Well, with regards to Ryan, I know actually both. Everything positioning, like understanding rollouts, and understanding why we should go to a certain point instead of like just like thinking that we should go a certain route.
Yeah, so I think you have to think about what how your team comp plays into the enemy team comp, and then you just have to make up like a plan accordingly. Like there's no one way to like you should play like every comp, right? So if you play an Arista comp, you're not going to play like a Ryan comp. Like there's different ways everywhere. So whenever you get into a fight, like that's why pressing tab is like so important, because then you can see like what they have, or after every fight you press tab, see if they do any switches. Your Hogger, I think it was like your Hog that was saying like, okay, they didn't change or anything, but that's something you can also be looking for as well, is like after every team comp, just pressing tab and then looking to see if they swap, and then you change your position, and then you guys is like play style dependent on, you know, what team comp they have, so then you guys don't get like caught off guard by anything.
Yeah, I feel like I do that sometimes, but definitely not consistently enough. And watching this VOD, I did not do that much at all. So that's definitely something I need to be doing more often.
Okay, and then for we went over the how to position stuff. Okay, so in Rhine versus Rhine duels, or like how you when you play Rhine, what do you think you need to work on?
So Rhine v Rhine, understanding. So we saw it on the first map with not using the third-person shield enough to understand where he was coming from, and I didn't track Shatter enough, and I don't think I communicated enough. Like even if I wasn't letting the rest of the team know that like I think they had Shatter, or when he had Shatter.
Okay.
So definitely tracking Shatters more often. So for Rhine v Rhine, and then understanding, because with the Zen, I like you can usually hear when they're doing the charge up for the shot too, and like if you keep the shield up, like you just feel the 5 orb, or like just to see the 5 orb, and so being able to call that and then play the engages based on that, I think it was something that like I subconsciously thought about, but it wasn't something that like I actively worked on or thought about. So that's definitely something to work on as well.
Yeah, and then also for the Rhines, like be a lot more decisive when you call your engages. So like on the first fight, you like, you know, you took like, you know, steps backwards, and then on this last point, you went to the left, you went to like the right. Like since you're in like goats for goats, once you get like a Discord, like be that leader, be like, okay, you know, we're going in, I like I'm holding W, I'm holding like, you know, mouse 1, bubble me, like I'm swinging, like pretty much just like tell your team that, hey, we're going to go in right here, so let's, you know, make it happen. Like there's a bunch of like hesitation on like being afraid to die. Like you shouldn't be afraid to die if your whole team is doing everything right, and then everyone like trusts each other and like follows up, then that's how, you know, you can just roll the like other team, because you get those engaged. If you're just like sitting there like kiting backwards or holding shield or something when you're like full HP, you're not really getting much value out of the goats. Like goats versus goats is meant to, okay, we're just gonna bum rush into each other. Whoever gets the most damage or has the best focus fire is going to win those engagements.
Gotcha.
So just being a lot more decisive once you see the enemy Rhine, you know, Discord, like, okay, cool, let's all focus this person, and that's all we're doing. I'm just gonna have this guy in my sights, and I'm gonna swing on him, throw fire strikes, and get damage, not, you know, go left, right, backwards, jump, you know, those types of things. So it's just wasted movements.
Right. Yeah, I think especially, so like when we played them, so we decided to partner with this team because we were on opposite sides of the bracket, and the week before we like crushed them, we rolled them, and then we played again this week, and then even like we played Volskaya right before this and we rolled them, and then we played this, and then afterwards we just could not take a point afterwards. We actually did like a quick play after that, so like each team would have a chance to like defend point B and C. Rialto, because they were just like, it's not worthwhile practice. But yeah, I do think after this I just didn't trust my Zarya or my supports enough, and that's on me, because like initially we saw, right, like on the pod, I thought I was low, so I was kiting, but I was like full health, so there was absolutely no reason for me to do that.
So what can help with that is that you call, like you're calling for the resources as like you're going for the engage, right? So pretty much you're using Zarya bubble as your own cooldown. So you guys see it like, you know, the Rhine, you know, you guys are all walking up. Someone's like, okay, hey, we got a Discord on Rhine. Hey, give me bubble, and we're engaging. And then now you're just in there holding mouse 1, swinging. So then now you don't have to, you know, worry about like a long fight that's going on like, you know, for a long time, unless, you know, they kite back, and then okay, cool, then you have to reaggress, and then you pretty much, you're just looking for like the same exact engagement every single time. So then you're just calling for the Zarya bubble. You can, you know, do all like, you know, look for the amps, get the discords, all that stuff. But as long as you're, you know, being decisive and you're calling for the engages, then you should be, it should be easy for your team to know who they need to like heal up, because everyone's usually always going to be focusing on Ryan, so the bubble can most likely always go for you, and then you can always be calling on the same or which target you want focused, because you should just be yelling, honestly, like, okay, kill Ryan, okay, Zarya Discord, go Zarya, okay, like, you know, Brig, and then you should be like the loudest one on your team, because you're the team's like biggest damage, since you know, they can't block a hammer swing to the face, so that's like what I would say, like the main thing that you need to work on is just being a little bit more like decisive, and then like trusting your team to hold W and go in and not kite back, you know, like so much. Right.
Got it. Yeah, because we were winning the Ryan v Ryan a lot because of my team, because like we would kill their Ryan and then we would just get wiped after that. But yeah, because they would take advantage of the space, and then I wasn't calling where we would need to take advantage, so we were disorganized, so they could just
like doing like the regroups and then saying which target to you know get on, and yeah, that's all stuff that's like easily, you know, fixable and all that stuff. So I know, I hope this helped somewhat, and then you can fix whatever like mistakes. You can like, you know, another VOD like a little bit later, and then once you work on it, and then hey, go from there, and hopefully you'll be a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like this is really good, because I'm still trying to figure out, because before this, like, because solo queue plat, like main tank, especially on console, is just like, I just got so much into the carry mindset of just like trying to pin and trying to damage and being like way too aggressive, and being like, it's okay if I die, I just need to take 2 people with me. And then that like got us punished really badly once I joined this team. So then I feel like I've done a 180 and become like almost too passive at this point. So I need to find the better balance between those two.
Yeah, I think it also just kind of comes down to, you know, like what team comp like running. So yeah, you can just know to be freaking super, because sometimes it honestly is way better to be super aggressive. If you're playing a goats comp and they're playing, you know, double DPS or something like that, yeah, dude, go like, you know, ballsy. If you're playing the, you know, how you played the Orisa comp, you want to play super passive, because you know they want to play super aggressive. So it's kind of one of those things, like every fight's going to be different, then you can just like, you'll learn to distinguish like when you should do what. That's kind of just one of the things with, you know, Overwatch, is you'll learn to go through all those situations. Once you go through it once, then you'll know how to fix it for later. So I don't know, you did really fine on blocking shatters and all that other stuff, so those mechanics are good.
Thank you. Yeah, it's, well, you know, after all that time of being like, oh man, if that break hadn't bashed me, I would have blocked that. I actually have to back that up now. So, all right, thank you so much for going through this. This was really
no problem.
Great. Yeah.
Well, I hope it was helpful, and I don't know, see you in the next video.
Yeah, I hope so. Thank you.